Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why your body suddenly feels different after 40, even though your effort has not changed? The truth is, something subtle yet powerful may be happening beneath the surface. Insulin resistance after 40 is not just a medical phrase, it is a silent shift that can redefine your energy, your weight, your cravings, and even your confidence. Many people assume that fatigue, stubborn belly fat, and mood swings are simply a normal part of aging. But what if those symptoms are signals? What if your body is not failing you but trying to communicate with you? After the age of 40, your metabolism naturally evolves. Your hormones begin to recalibrate. Muscle mass can decline. Stress accumulates differently. And most importantly, the way your body responds to blood sugar begins to change. When cells become less responsive to insulin, glucose lingers in the bloodstream longer than it should. That lingering sugar does more than affect your waistline. It creates ripple effects that touch nearly every system in your body. Unstable blood sugar levels can slowly weaken the lining of your gut, the very barrier designed to protect you. Repeated spikes and crashes in glucose can increase inflammatory markers, sending your immune system into a constant state of low-grade alert. Over time, this quiet inflammation can influence how you feel when you wake up, how you think in the afternoon, and how deeply you rest at night. This is where the hormone-gut inflammation triangle begins to form. Blood sugar instability affects gut integrity. A compromised gut fuels inflammation. Inflammation disrupts hormonal balance, and hormonal imbalance makes blood sugar even harder to control. It becomes a cycle that feeds itself. You may notice stronger cravings for refined carbohydrates, more difficulty losing weight despite eating less, or a sense of brain fog that was never there before. These are not random inconveniences. They are interconnected signals. Insulin resistance can accelerate hormonal decline, influencing thyroid hormones that regulate metabolism, sex hormones that shape body composition and vitality, and even cortisol, the stress hormone that dictates how your body stores fat and manages energy. When cortisol stays elevated due to stress and unstable glucose, the body prioritizes survival over optimization. Fat storage increases, muscle repair slows, energy fluctuates unpredictably. Yet this is not a message of fear, it is a message of awareness, because awareness is power. Once you understand that blood sugar, gut health, and inflammation are connected, you begin to see that small daily choices carry extraordinary influence. The timing of your meals, the balance of protein and fiber on your plate, the quality of your sleep, and the way you manage stress all become levers you can adjust. After 40, success is no longer about extreme dieting or punishing workouts. It is about precision and consistency. It is about stabilizing glucose instead of chasing calories. It is about nourishing your gut instead of ignoring it. And it is about reducing inflammation before it silently compounds. Your body is not working against you. It is adapting. The question is whether you will adapt with it. There is a moment most people experience but rarely recognize, a moment when the body whispers before it ever screams. It happens in the late afternoon slump that feels heavier than it should, in the intense craving for sugar after a full meal, in the frustration of doing everything right, yet seeing no progress. Insulin resistance after 40 does not arrive overnight like a storm. It builds quietly like pressure beneath the surface. At first, the pancreas compensates by producing more insulin to keep blood sugar stable. For a while, the body appears to manage. Energy seems normal, lab numbers might even look acceptable, but beneath that surface, cells are becoming less responsive, forcing insulin levels higher and higher just to achieve the same effect. Elevated insulin is not just about sugar, it is a storage hormone. When it remains high, the body is signaled to store rather than burn. Fat loss becomes difficult, especially around the abdomen. Muscle building slows. Hunger signals become distorted. What many people do not realize is that these rising insulin levels can directly affect the gut. Chronic blood sugar spikes may disrupt the delicate microbial balance within the intestines, encouraging the growth of less favorable bacteria. Over time, the protective lining of the gut can become compromised, allowing inflammatory compounds to pass into the bloodstream more easily. The immune system responds, not with a dramatic illness, but with persistent low-grade inflammation. That inflammation then interferes with insulin signaling even further, tightening the cycle. And here is where suspense deepens, because the consequences extend beyond weight or digestion. Inflammation influences the thyroid, slowing metabolic rate. It affects sex hormones, contributing to reduced testosterone in men and shifting estrogen and progesterone patterns in women. It disrupts cortisol rhythms, leading to poor sleep and heightened stress reactivity. Sleep deprivation then worsens insulin sensitivity, creating a feedback loop that feels impossible to escape. You may begin to feel that no matter how disciplined you are, your body resists change. You reduce calories, but cravings intensify. You increase cardio, but fatigue grows. You attempt low-carb extremes, but energy crashes harder. The problem is not a lack of willpower, it is a misalignment with physiology. The hormone gut inflammation triangle thrives in chaos and extremes. It stabilizes when given rhythm and balance. Strategic meal timing can reduce the frequency of glucose spikes, allowing insulin levels to fall between meals. Prioritizing protein helps preserve muscle mass, which acts as a powerful reservoir for glucose disposal. Including diverse fibers supports beneficial gut bacteria that strengthen intestinal integrity. Choosing carbohydrates thoughtfully, especially around periods of activity, allows glucose to be used efficiently rather than stored. Even simple habits like walking after meals can significantly improve blood sugar regulation. None of these strategies are dramatic, yet their cumulative impact is profound. They calm inflammation, support hormonal resilience, and restore metabolic flexibility. The suspense lies in realizing that the solution has been quieter than the problem. Instead of fighting the body with harsher restrictions, you begin cooperating with its design. Instead of chasing short-term results, you focus on long-term stability. And gradually, the whispers change. Energy steadies, cravings soften, sleep deepens. The body that once felt unpredictable begins to feel responsive again. This transformation does not come from a single supplement or a single workout. It comes from understanding the invisible connections that shape visible outcomes. It comes from respecting the intricate dialogue between blood sugar, gut health, and inflammation. And once you see that dialogue clearly, you cannot unsee it. You begin to recognize that every meal is a message, every habit a vote for either stability or chaos, and every day an opportunity to reset the cycle before it tightens further. The timing of your meals, the balance of protein and fiber on your plate, the quality of your sleep, and the way you manage stress all become levers you can adjust. After 40, success is no longer about extreme dieting or punishing workouts. It is about precision and consistency. It is about stabilizing glucose instead of chasing calories. It is about nourishing your gut instead of ignoring it. And it is about reducing inflammation before it silently compounds. Your body is not working against you. It is adapting. The question is whether you will adapt with it. The most empowering realization is that insulin resistance after 40 is not a life sentence. It is a signal. And signals can be answered with intention. The body is remarkably adaptive when given the right conditions. Even after years of blood sugar instability, inflammation, and hormonal imbalance, systems can recalibrate. Muscle tissue can become more insulin sensitive. The gut lining can repair. Inflammatory markers can decrease. Hormones can find rhythm again. But this restoration requires a shift in mindset. Instead of asking how little you can eat, begin asking how well you can nourish. Instead of obsessing over calories burned, focus on metabolic efficiency built. Begin with the plate because every balanced meal becomes a stabilizing force. When you prioritize high-quality protein, you protect lean muscle, and muscle acts as a metabolic ally that helps clear glucose from the bloodstream. When you include fiber-rich vegetables and diverse plant foods, you feed beneficial gut bacteria that produce compounds supporting intestinal integrity and lowering inflammation. When you combine carbohydrates with protein and healthy fats, you slow glucose absorption, preventing sharp spikes and crashes. Strategic carbohydrate timing, particularly around physical activity, allows your body to use sugar as fuel rather than store it as excess. Movement itself becomes medicine. Resistance training sends a powerful message to cells, encouraging them to respond more efficiently to insulin. Even moderate strength sessions performed consistently can dramatically improve glucose disposal. Walking after meals, stretching in the evening, and avoiding prolonged sitting all contribute to better blood sugar control. Sleep must become non-negotiable because deep, restorative rest recalibrates cortisol and enhances insulin sensitivity. Chronic sleep deprivation raises hunger hormones and increases cravings for quick carbohydrates, reinforcing the very cycle you are trying to break. Stress management is equally essential. Elevated cortisol not only increases abdominal fat storage, but also worsens blood sugar regulation. Practices such as breathwork, mindfulness, and deliberate recovery are not luxuries. They are biological interventions. As inflammation decreases, the hormone-gut inflammation triangle begins to unwind. Thyroid signaling improves, allowing metabolism to operate more efficiently. Sex hormones regain balance, supporting muscle tone, mood stability, and vitality. Energy becomes steady rather than volatile. The transformation may not be instant, and that is where patience becomes strength. The body that took years to adapt will require consistent signals of safety and stability before it fully trusts change. There may be moments when progress feels slow, when old cravings resurface, when stress disrupts rhythm. Yet each balanced choice reinforces the direction you are moving. Over time, insulin levels stabilize, inflammation quiets, the gut barrier strengthens, And you begin to feel a resilience that goes beyond aesthetics. You feel clear-headed, you feel capable, you feel aligned with your physiology rather than at war with it. This journey is not about reversing age, it is about mastering adaptation. After 40, wisdom becomes your greatest metabolic advantage. You understand that sustainable strategies outperform extreme measures. You recognize that small, consistent actions reshape long-term outcomes. Insulin resistance after 40 may begin as a hidden imbalance, but it can end as a turning point towards stronger metabolic health, improved hormonal resilience, and deeper self-awareness. The power lies in daily execution. It lies in choosing stability over spikes, nourishment over neglect, and consistency over chaos. And when you commit to that path, the narrative of aging transforms from decline to evolution. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early. And once you see that dialogue clearly, you cannot unsee it. You begin to recognize that every meal is a message, every habit a vote for either stability or chaos, and every day an opportunity to reset the cycle before it tightens further. The timing of your meals, the balance of protein and fiber on your plate, the quality of your sleep, and the way you manage stress all become levers you can adjust. After 40, success is no longer about extreme dieting or punishing workouts. It is about precision and consistency. It is about stabilizing glucose instead of chasing calories. It is about nourishing your gut instead of ignoring it. And it is about reducing inflammation before it silently compounds. Your body is not working against you. It is adapting. The question is whether you will adapt with it.